Islam Makhachev's head coach Javier Mendies made it clear that they're not taking Jack Della Maddalena lightly with the welterweight showdown looming. Mendes says the camp is preparing for a full 5-round war, not banking on an early finish or underestimating Jack's boxing pedigree. This isn't a short notice warm-up. It's all hands on deck in Dagestan. Now let's talk about the heat around this one. After Ilia Topuria moved up and called Islam a coward for running away from the challenge, tensions between divisions have never been higher. Ilia wanted that legacy fight, but instead, Islam's gunning. 4 gold at 170 JDM isn't your typical step-up. He's a pressure-heavy striker with precise hands and underrated composure. But the reality is he's never faced someone with Islam's suffocating wrestling timing and fight IQ. Islam's ability to nullify chaos with pure control is what makes this so interesting. And if Islam wins, everything's in play, a move down to lightweight. To silence Ilia once and for all, possibly, but a dominant win could also set up massive fights at 170 maybe, against Shavkat Rakhmonov. Can you imagine Islam versus Shavkat? What a fight either way. This isn't just a fight, it's a crossroads for Islam's legacy. Islam versus JDM.
I'm always the same. I never change. I'm ready for a 5-round war, and the reason being is if I go out and say, oh, he's going to submit him or he's going to dominate him, but then the fight happens and no submission, no domination, then my train of thought goes away and I forgot to be engaged in the fight because I thought about, oh, okay, we're not going to submit him. But that little thought to me is something that I can't afford. Like, for instance, if you think about if you're driving in the freeway and you lose track and you look behind and all of a sudden you look ahead, you just wrecked because you weren't paying attention. So I kind of look at it like that. I need to be engaged at all times and look at the fights of what's going on in front of me. So if I look at, oh, he should have finished them in the second round and he didn't, then I kept thinking, oh, we didn't finish it in the second round. A thought pattern changes, So I don't want to do that. So I like to stay engaged the whole time through.
Daniel Cormier fires back at Jon Jones's call-out after Jones boldly claimed he'd destroy a prime Daniel Cormier. Worse at heavyweight than he did at light heavyweight, DC has responded, and he's not holding back Jones in an interview with Jeffrey. Wu reignited the rivalry by saying he believes his speed and power have translated better to heavyweight, and that he would have done even more damage to DC if they had fought in that division. He emphasized his improved power and especially his kicks, referencing the head kick that dropped Cormier in their second bout at 205. But DC isn't buying it on his YouTube channel. The former double champ dismissed the idea entirely, saying Jon should stop fantasizing about the past and focus on the actual heavyweight landscape. Particularly the interim champ Tom Aspinall. DC was once 15-0 as a heavyweight, before ever dropping down. His only losses at heavyweight came at ages 40 and 41 against Stipe, widely considered one of the greatest heavyweights in UFC history. At his peak, DC was one of the most dominant forces in both weight classes. The timing of Jones's comments is also raising eyebrows, with Aspinall waiting for his shot at undisputed gold. Some see this call out of a retired DC as a
I'm retired. I'm done. I'm 46. I'm washed up. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a commentator. I am a talking head. How about this novel idea? Fight the dude that's actually wanting to fight. I don't want to fight Jon Jones. I have no desire to fight anyone. There could be a 25-pounder called me out to a fight and I'd be like, I don't really feel like doing that anymore. Those days are behind me. But how about fight the dude that's actually waiting to fight you? Tom Aspinall, right? It's not about what may have happened back then. We want to know, as the consumer, what's going to happen today. What's going to happen today if Jon Jones fights Tom Aspinall? I am telling you right now, I have no desire to fight this man. Am I afraid of this man? Absolutely not. But I'm not here to fight no more. I'm a broadcaster. But there's a guy that's waiting. There's a guy that's up to his neck in frustrations because he's been waiting for so long.
Some shocking news just surfaced in Russian MMA circles after Jon Jones's former sparring partner, who recently reunited with him to help prepare for an upcoming fight camp, even though Jones's next bout hasn't been officially announced, revealed that Jon was brutally dropped during sparring and didn't take it well. According to him, Jones lashed out at the training partner afterward, Rustam Kabalov, who spent years at Jackson Wink Academy and was one of Jon's main sparring partners through several fight camps. Had previously shared a story about Jon getting dropped with a liver kick, a moment that Jones later confirmed himself, even naming Adlin Amagov as the man who landed it. Well, it looks like something similar just happened again. In a recent interview, Khabilov revealed that Jon had another rough moment in training eerily similar to the liver kick story. This time it was a vicious knee to the ribs that sent Jon crashing to the mat. Here's what Khabilov said, quote, "This time, I saw it with my own eyes, last time with Adlin. I was already in the locker room when I heard something had happened, so I didn't actually witness it. But this time it played out right in front of me. We were all sparring, and Jon was just a few steps away, not far at all. He was right in my line of sight. I saw him take a clean knee straight to the right side of his ribs. Suddenly everyone around him froze and stopped sparring. That's when I really looked over, and I saw him kind of crumpled on the mat. He was clearly in pain. It was a hard knockdown, especially considering Jon was dominating the session. Honestly, he was playing with his partner. I think he just lost focus for a moment, and that's all it took. That knee took him out of sparring for the rest of the day. I think he actually broke his ribs. It looked serious. And I'll tell you right now, the kid who landed that knee, he's not going to be sleeping easy. Jon's not the type to let something like that slide. He hates losing, even in sparring. So yeah, it's going to get real interesting in the gym once Jon's back, end quote. This isn't exactly the kind of headline you'd want floating around before potentially stepping into the cage with someone like Tom Aspinall. Arguably the toughest challenge Jon's ever faced. Gilbert Burns is stepping into his bout against Michael Morales with his back against the wall. The former title challenger is riding a 3-fight losing streak and knows that another slip could send him tumbling out of the welterweight elite, facing the undefeated Michael Morales in the main event. Burns isn't just looking for a win. He's out to reclaim his identity. Speaking ahead of the bout, Burns didn't sugarcoat anything. He admitted that his last few outings haven't lived up to his own standards. He pointed to weight cut issues and poor recovery as contributing factors, but made it clear he wasn't making excuses this time. It's personal. It's not about Morales. It's about showing the world that he can still deliver when it matters. Burns says he's made serious adjustments since those back-to-back losses and is putting real pressure on himself to perform, not just to win, but to remind fans and maybe even himself of the level. He once operated at. The stakes couldn't be higher. A dominant showing against a rising star like Morales could silence the doubts and put Burns right back in the mix at 170, but if he falters again, the questions about his future will only